Namo Vaha, Sada Vaha, Swagatam, Sada Swaha. Good morning, all you beautiful people, and welcome. And may your path be filled with blessings. Om. Well, good morning, folks. We're about 15 minutes from the official sunrise this morning, sitting in beautiful Ritter Park. Pole Creek is just to my right. The hill in the Ritter Park is just to my left. And it's a beautiful little spot here on a nice summer morning in June. All right, so I just wanted to mention a few things. This is our third practice in this morning series. First practice, we started on opening the heart space. The heart space is very, very important. And then the second practice, talked about a bindu, a point, a singularity in the heart. And then the second day, we talked about a singularity down here in the center of the pelvis, which is called the dantian, or perhaps the kunda in Sanskrit. These are our centers. These are our physical centers of our body. The heart-mind center and the physical center of the body, the movement center of the body. These are the points that we're really particularly interested in this 10 weeks of practice. I wanted to remind you of where we are today. We're going to come back to the heart space, come back into it from a little different perspective. This series was designed to be progressive, so we're starting off relatively easy in the somatic, starting to feel our body, and the movements are going to get progressively larger. I wouldn't call them rigorous or never rigorous. They're always to be done slowly with full awareness and attention on that movement, right, the three tattvas. Okay, so that being said, my plan was to have you do these practices all week, and then the next week you pick up a new practice. At the end of the 10 weeks, we'll have this really nice toolbox of techniques that we can use for both physical centering of the body as well as this heart-mind centering, right? All of the tantric meditations that we're doing from the Vijñāna Bhairava Tantra. So we're going to begin one of those in just a moment. But to begin, let's begin the way we've been starting with a beautiful mantra, the Gayatri mantra, from well over 3,000 years ago. It's been chanted daily for at least that long. And we're going to do it today. It's to the sun, the Savitri Gayatri mantra, the vivifier, that which brings life to the planet. Let's find a nice, very nice, comfortable seat. Begin to find your pelvis. Gently, gently allow the belly, maybe on an inhale, the kunda to begin to move out. Feel the chest rise. Feel the pelvis roll forwards. On an exhale, gentle roll backwards. Just with your breath, just feel the natural movement of the pelvis. Don't try to force it. slowly as possible. Begin to bring your breath under control. You can even close your eyes and visualize the pelvis gently moving. Your awareness on your breath. Slow and calm through the nose. Relax your jaws. Relax any tension that you might find in your body. Continue that gentle oscillating movement of your pelvis, just with your breath. And then begin to bring your awareness to the heart center, this space in the middle of the heart. This is called the Heart Lotus Meditation. It's one of my favorites. I do it several times a day, every day. With your awareness in this heart center, wherever you feel that heart center, whatever you feel there, or if you feel nothing, just imagine this space in the heart. And that space is beginning to become filled with a lotus of light, or any flower that's of light, beautiful, beautiful, translucent light. And the flower, a lotus, kind of hangs down. It's kind of ugly, hanging down before it begins to blossom. But then as the flower is tended and it's fertilized in water, the flower begins to turn upright. Imagine the flower in your heart beginning to turn upright on an inhale. And the flower begins to open. Slowly and easily, not all the way, just a little bit open. And on the exhale, feel the flower of light begin to close, but not all the way, and point back down. Inhale, feeling this flower of light begin to open and lift towards the sky, towards the crown of the head. Open, maybe even rotate. And then slowly begin to close, but not all the way on the exhale. This is a very special place, space in the tradition, in the heart space. We allow everything to flow through the heart. Anything that we find pleasurable, anything that we find repulsive, anything that we find an attachment to, or anything that we find that we want to stay away from, we let it all flow through this heart, through this singularity. It's like it goes through a black hole and comes out different, comes out transformed. And just keep your awareness on this visualization. If you can't see it, that's fine. We're not looking for a sight thing. We're looking for a felt sensation of the flower lifting, opening, closing, but not all the way. All of the really emotional things in our life that happen, so it happens through this heart center. We want to keep it open. We want to lead with our heart in yoga. That's part of the teachings, is lead with the heart. The heart has access to the true essence nature of our being. The heart's not so easily lost in the stories we tell, the stories we hear, the stories we contrive. It lives closer to the reality. Keep your visualization on that beautiful flower. A flower of light, lifting and opening. It's a transformation. Each breath is a transformation. It's a new beginning, a new opening. Say yes. Say Om to those offerings. And begin to let the visualization go. Just let it slip out of your mind. And both the meditations and the movement are just challenges to our brain, challenges to learn, to learn to become deeper and stiller and quieter within our own essence nature. So when we do visualizations and contemplations, we add extra elements to totally challenge ourselves to stay with the contemplation. When we're doing these movements, we'll add on movements with the eyes and the head going in opposite directions. And it just gives our mind an opportunity to solve problems, and that's what it likes to do. This is the deeper mind, the lizard brain, the brain that can solve trillions of problems at the same time. It's not like this brain that we associate with ourselves. It's a linear scanning brain. You can only see one thing at a time, what we're looking at. So we want to focus that and let that lizard brain do its job. So go ahead and begin to make your way into a comfortable lying position while we sing our blessing mantra this morning. Just let yourself be. How does it feel to be me in this moment? Continue to ask yourself that question with each passing moment. How does it feel to be me? Not what's the story I'm telling about me in this moment. It's how does it feel? What's it like to be me? And slowly begin to make your way onto your bellies, just rolling over gently, finding any way that you can do that. So stack your right hand on top of your left hand and bring your left cheek to the top of your right hand. And then just pick your head up slowly and rotate the head to the opposite direction, to the left cheek. Lay it down. Pick it up and go back the other way. Just slowly, slowly, slowly going from side to side, and just noticing if perhaps one side is a little bit easier to move to than the other side. Then you can go ahead and change your hands. Put the other hand on top. Maybe that has something to do with it. Continue to slowly and easily lift up your head, turn to the side and back down. Does this change anything? By changing the position of your hands as you rotate your head. Just feeling into this. Try to move from the center of the heart. See if you can lift the head from the heart space, from the back. Are you feeling an inhale to help the lift? And slowly just feeling into these deep sensations, trying to move from the center. I'll bring the left hand on top of the right hand. And then bring the right ear to the left hand. I'm sorry, the right ear to the right hand. And then slowly begin to lift. The left arm, right ear. Start to lift the head and the left arm slowly and bring it back down. Slowly as you can. So the right ear is on the left hand. You're looking at the left elbow and you're slowly and gently lifting your head and letting it back down. Trying to move from the heart space, feeling the chest expand. Noticing what happens to the whole front of your body. Both the inhale and the exhale. Now turn your head to the right and put the right hand on top of the left. And now your left ear is on the right hand. And begin to lift the head and the arm on this side. So we're looking at our right elbow and we're lifting the right arm, the head, and the elbow. Everything else is soft. Try to soften the whole front of the body. Feel that gentle lift. We don't have to lift far. First we want to feel the organization of the lift and then begin to lift. Notice if there's a difference between lifting from side to side. The left side is easier than the right, or just whatever happens. Make yourself comfortable, wherever you need to be, and just take a break for a minute. Now turn your head back to the left. The left hand's on top of the right, and bring your left knee out to the side. There we go. Just try to find a comfortable place. Let it all go. Now begin to lift the head and the hand and the arm on this left side. Just keep the legs nice and quiet. Keep your body quiet. Notice how this works. Where can you release? Where can we let go? Feel your breath. Maybe you want to lift on an inhale, settle down on an exhale, but try it a different way. Try it both ways. So don't try to get further. Don't go for a destination. Try to do less. Where can we do less? All movement is about doing less movement. How can we organize our body to move efficiently and quietly? Or stillness from the center. Moving from the center with stillness. Whenever the quality of our movement or the quality of our breathing begins to diminish, it's time to back off. Take a rest whenever you need it. Enjoy the rest time. This is the important time to scan through your body and notice differences. Noticing differences through the time of the practice. Notice the differences from side to side. Always looking for where we can do less. Jaw, around the eyes, back of the neck, up underneath the arms. There's a lot of places we hold tension in our body in the pelvis. Use your breath to wash that away. Continue just slowly, maybe 1 or 2 times, resting in between each time we lift. Going from a state of relaxation into the slow, easy, gentle movement, back to a complete relaxation. So we're training for relaxation. We're not training to move anything. So as we're lifting our head, right, looking to the left, do we notice something in the right leg? Do we notice that the right leg wants to help out? See if you can relax into that right leg and let it go. Remembering to rest when it's necessary. This is opening the front, using the back muscles. Maybe feel as you're lifting the shoulder blades gently drawing together. See if you can feel the lift coming from the heart center through the back. Slow and easy. It might take 10-20 seconds to make a lift and down. You can take multiple breaths. You can move your left leg a little bit around just to notice how that feels. Every time we move, we want the movement to be a little bit different. I want to create a new scenario, a new problem for the back, for the brain. So why don't we go ahead and roll onto our back and just take a break for a minute. If you like to stay on the side where you are, you're welcome to stay here also. Some people find it disturbing to lie on their bellies too long, but it's something we need to learn to do. It's very, very important for our physiology to be able to lay on our bellies. Now bring your right hand onto your forehead. Just begin to turn your head to the left a little bit. So it's just there, it's resting, it's just the weight of the hand. So we're kind of restricting the movement to the neck by having the hand on there and the right shoulder. But just feel the connection, feel the contact. And now bring the other hand, bring the left hand to the forehead, relax the right hand, and turn the head now the opposite direction to the right. And just feeling how that affects the way you feel, the way you sense your body, the connection, the integration of the movement. Come back into that relaxed position. Let's roll back on our belly. And this time we're going to face to the right. So we're going to look at the right elbow, so the right hand, or the left hand is going to be on top of the right, and the right knee is bent out to the side. So our left ear, our left ear is on the left hand. I have a hard time figuring this out this morning. And then gently, slowly, organize your body on how to lift the head, and then begin to lift where we need to lift. Slowly, with plenty of rest and relaxation and awareness. It's all about the attention, setting the attention, the intention of attention for movement from the center. And in this case, we're moving pretty much from the center, although you can feel the two centers involved here as we're lifting and opening. We're stretching those centers away from each other in the front and getting closer in the back. See if you can feel how the back has to engage and arch as you're lifting. Feel into the lower back. Notice your left leg now. Is your left leg trying to get involved as we lift the right arm? This is across the back from the left pelvis, the left glutes to the right shoulder. So you can feel how they want to lift towards each other. The leg gets involved. Notice as you relax into that left leg that the pelvis actually is going to come closer to the ground. This point, this dantian point, or this khanda point, 3 inches lower than the navel. Notice how as you lift, inhale, that can press a little bit closer to the ground, allowing the back to arch a little bit more. Taking rest as you need it. I like to do this set of exercises at least once a week. It's just a really nice way to help me engage that movement into the back. Helps me find that breath along my collarbone, across the shoulder blades. Take a rest when you need it. Roll onto your back if you like. In fact, go ahead and roll onto your back. Move around a little bit. Find that comfortable place in your body. Relax your jaw. And close your eyes if you like, or you can continue with eyes open. Notice what's around you. Don't allow yourself to get lost in the sights. Bring your awareness to your breath. That long, slow breath. You can even come to that humps of breath. It's always with ha on the inhale, sa on the exhale. Sa. So let's go ahead and roll back onto our bellies, and let's face the left once again. So the right hand is going to be on top of the left, and the right ear is going to be on the left hand. We're looking at our left elbow, left knee is out to the side. Find that comfortable place, and then we're going to begin to lift just the right leg. Try to relax into the front. And what do you have to do to lift the right leg? Just a little bit. Now sometimes when we haven't done these movements, we start with a lot of force because we don't know how to regulate the amount of energy we use yet, and that's fine. We use the force to start off with, but then slowly release the force. What's the minimum amount of energy that we can use for any movement? How can we be most efficient? Slowly lift it, let it down, and relax completely. Notice now if you're gripping a little bit in the left shoulder as you're lifting the right knee. Notice if that shoulder on the right side wants to become part of the movement. And that's perfectly natural because to lift the leg we have to arch the back. We have to shorten the back, engage the glutes. All of that is one unit. Try to relax in the front, allow the front to become a little bit heavier. And what you notice as you lift the leg, the chest comes a little bit closer to the ground. Lifting with ease, enjoying this movement. It's all about the joy of movement. You can move your leg around a little bit, you can move your foot around a little bit, offering your brain slightly different scenarios to solve the movement problem each time. It's how we learn. Now begin to lift the arm and the leg together. And maybe just notice if there's increased lightness in the head, or you can just lift the head without the leg to notice the lightness, but then begin to lift them both together. Put it all into one movement. See if we can use that connection. So we're lifting the head, the left arm and elbow, and the right leg. Slow with the lift, maybe on an inhale, exhale down. Although you can try exhale to lift. And our breathing and our movement processes are dynamic. They have to be able to adapt to any conditions that are affecting us at the time. It has to be 100% adaptable, so we're training adaptability in this type of a practice. If you just keep doing the same repetitive movements over and over again, all you're doing is training yourself to do the same stuff over and over again, maybe in a way that's not all that healthy for you or all that helpful for you. And then once again, come to a relaxed state and maybe just check the head. See if it feels like the head's a little bit lighter to lift than when we first began. This is what we're trying to do, is make our body lighter. Let's roll onto our backs and relax for a while. Most of the heaviness that we feel in our body is muscles that are habitually contracted, creating that heaviness. If something's holding your arm down, it's going to feel heavier than if something's not holding it down. And what's holding it down is these contracted muscles, these constantly contracted muscles. We want to let that go and just engage what we need. So focus on where we can let go. That's where we can use our cognitive process. That's where we can bring that intention to attention to sift through our body and find that increased tension that's not necessary, that's not helpful, that's not creating a nice living environment for us. Take these breaks, these rests serious. Stay in the heart center. You can always come to the humps of breath, and you can even do the humps of breath with the heart lotus meditation as we're laying here. With the focus, with the awareness on the heart space. Lots of savasana in this practice. A lot of activity out here. Let's come on back onto our belly, and this time we're going to face to the right. With the right knee lifted and out to the side. There we go. So we're going to bring the left ear onto the left hand. Left hand's on top of the right hand. And now we're just going to begin to lift, when we get comfortable, the left leg a little bit. First of all, just begin to lift the head and see if it's a little bit lighter than before. Just notice the weight of the head right now before we start to lift the left leg. And now begin to organize the left leg to lift. You might use too much force to start with. It might jump up off the ground, but over time you'll slowly be able to lift it up. Mine still jumps sometimes when I'm not really focused. The body just wants to take off and do what it habitually does. Just fly into space without thought. Rest when you need to rest. Always asking, how does this feel? How does it feel to be me in this moment? Lying, lifting my leg, facing to the right. And now begin to lift the leg and the arm. You can just check the weight of the head before you start. See if that helped to make the head lighter, just lifting the leg. It's all about the choreography. It's all about getting everything to move, not only together, but in the right order. There's a kinetic chain for every movement. Muscles have to engage in certain order and release in certain order in order to make the movement as efficient as possible. Remember to rest when you need the rest. Feel your breath. Use your breath. Feel the movement from the center. And then go ahead and come to a rest place on your side. Just lift your head one more time. Just notice if it's changed. And maybe it hasn't. That's all fine. Any information is useful information for our brain to solve these movement problems. Then when you're ready, you can roll onto your back. You can shake your hips around a little bit, shake your shoulders around your head. Just find that place where it's easiest to be. And bring one hand to your forehead and allow your head to roll from side to side. Keep your eyes open now. Look straight up at the sky and then allow your eyes to track the movement. You can bring your other hand to the forehead. We're just feeling what's happening in our neck and our shoulders now. This little bit of activity that we've engaged in. Ease, gentle ease. It's not about how much we do. It's about how much we're present. How much we're leading from our center, in this case from our heart center. And just rest for a while, rest on your back. Feel the life, feel the breath, feel the ease, feel the now. Atha Yoga Anushasanam. Now we practice yoga. And yoga's chittariti nirodha. Yoga is the stilling of the mind into a meditative state. Let's roll back onto our belly. And now we're going to face right and lift the left knee. Yeah, so we're facing the opposite direction of the knee. Okay, so we're going to have the left cheek on the right hand here. Now we're slowly going to begin to lift. Just lift the head easily and slowly. The right arm and head, so the left, yeah, so I think I said left ear is on on the right arm. Just slowly lifting. Be very careful here. Your body's in a twist. You can feel that twist. The left pelvis is up and you're twisting the head to the right. So be ever so easy and try to relax into the movement. Just brings a little extra challenge to the brain, a little extra problem on how to solve. How can we move without effort? The effortless effort of a well-tuned body. Rest when you need it. Rest when you need it. This is how wild animals, they just lay around all day or they play until they have to do something and then they're ready to go. It's because they rest, they know how to relax, they know how to totally let go. And then they can mete out the energy when they need it. This is a subtle energy practice of yoga. This is exactly what it is. So go ahead and unwind from that, relax, whatever that means to you. And now come back, left leg out, facing to the right. And now we're going to lift the right arm and the right leg with the left knee bent out to the side. This is once again a real challenge. Don't move too much. Even the intention of the movement, just organizing the body to move, is very, very, very beneficial for us. So if that's all that's happening, that's a wonderful thing. Move from the center. See if you can feel the lower center getting involved. You can feel both of these centers kind of pushing in as you're lifting. And as you settle down, they release a little bit. Try to bring the head and the arm and the leg up all together. It's just one movement. So try not to bring the leg up, then the head, or the head, then the leg. Find that integration. Everything moves as a unit. Then go ahead and turn the head back to the left. And try lifting the head. Just the head, and notice any change in the weight of the head. Weight of the head and the shoulders as we lift. As our body organizes itself. Hopefully we begin to feel lighter and lighter with each successive movement. Let's come back onto our back and relax for a while. Just feeling the breath, feeling our body. Just noticing the differences in the left and the right side. Notice where we're relaxed and lying easily on the floor and where our body feels like it's trying to escape or lift or contract away from your lying surface. Whatever it is, don't try to correct it. Don't try. This thinking brain that we have up here that we identify with really is not suited for this job at all. So let's turn back onto our front. Now we're going to face the opposite way, right? So we're going to bring the right knee out to the side and we're going to face to the left. And so the right cheek is on the left arm. And just begin to lift with the left arm and the head, just noticing the weight of the head on this side. And then lift. After you notice that weight, lift a few more times. Organize, use your breath. Move from the center. Humps of breath feels right to you. Sometimes it helps me to sense the breath in my body, to put the vibrations of the hum into the breath. And rest is needed. The rest is the most important part. It's not the movement in this activity. It's the space between. It's that quiet, still space between the movement. That's when the yoga happens. Let go of your abdomen. Let this relax. The back, as the back contracts, the front has to expand. If you have a bow and arrow and you bring it together, the side that you're bringing together gets shorter, the other side has to get longer. Same in our body. you're ready, you can allow the left leg to lift with the head and the arm, if that feels right for us in this time. And slowly lifting the left arm and the left leg. Slow and easy. Synchronize that movement. The shoulders and the pelvis are moving together. And notice now the movement's on the same side. We're breaking up that diagonal force that we could feel between the opposite pelvis and shoulder. We're bringing it on the same side, but still notice that opposing forces from the right shoulder to the left hip, the left pelvis are still there. Just try to relax, release, let go into this. Now switch your head back to facing the right and just check the weight of the head. Just notice how that feels now. Notice if it might feel a little bit lighter, a little bit smoother. The quality of the movement is enhanced. Just feels a little bit easier to be me right now. And that's what it's about, is being a little bit easier to be me. Be accepting, to find the gratitude. And now let's do that first movement we did. So let's just stack our hands, lay our head down, lift it up, slowly turn it the opposite way and put it back down. This is exactly where we began the practice. Just notice the difference and then roll onto our back once again. Just feeling how it feels to be me in this moment. It feels really wonderful being out here in the park on a beautiful morning. It's a cloudy morning. It's not that sunny. Having a beautiful time. Birds are here. The heron was out this morning. Didn't see the owls today. Sometimes I see the owls out here in the morning. All right, so let's go ahead and bend our knees. Bring our legs to standing, feet on the ground, knees towards the ceiling. Interlace the fingers and just bring them behind the head. Allow the elbows to relax down towards the ground. And then just allow the elbows to gently come towards each other and lift the head just a little, maybe an inch, maybe not even an inch. Try to allow the weight of the head to be primarily in the shoulders, and then slowly let your head back down. So this is the opposing movement of what we were doing in the upper back. Slowly allow the lower ribs to soften, and allow the lower ribs to come down towards the pelvis. Allow the lower back to soften towards the floor. Right? We're contracting in the front now, so the back has to get longer. As we lift, feel the movement from the heart center. See if you can feel it from the pelvic center. And then go ahead and release your legs and your arms back to the side. Just noticing the integration of that movement. Onto your belly. Bring the left knee out to the side. Just bring your arms to standing so the elbows are towards the sky and your forehead is towards the ground. And now slowly, with your eyes open, begin to lift your head and imagine that there's a little ant or some friendly bug that's crawling out in front of you. It's crawling and you're watching this bug as you lift your head. And Maybe you can imagine a tree or a wall in front of you that the bug is climbing up, and slowly lift your head, your eyes and your shoulder, and then slowly follow the bug back down, all the way back down. So your eyes and your head are going in the same direction. Now next time you do this movement, try to allow your eyes and your head to go in the opposite direction. So start with your eyes looking up and your head down, and then slowly lift the head as you follow the bug down the wall as the head is lifting. And then lift the eyes as the head comes down. Right? I mean, we have these eyes that can move independently. So our head can be moving in one direction and our eyes can be moving in a very different direction. And in fact, our head can move in a different direction than our body, and our eyes can move in a different direction than the head. We've got this very, very universal sensing, visual sensing apparatus. Right? That the whole body can turn, just part of the body can turn, the eyes can turn independently. We want to exercise that. Now go ahead and switch the legs. Bring the left leg long, bring the right leg out to the side, and repeat this same little exercise. Lifting the head, following with the eyes and the head going the same direction, following something crawling out in front of you and up a wall, and then back down. This is the movement that a 3-year-old does. Right? When they can do this and look up at a 6-foot-tall person without any strain in their body, they can just do this. Follow it. Allow your body to be that young again, to move in that way. That capability and that ability is still with us. It never leaves. And then try to bring the eyes to the opposite with the right leg out. So as the head's moving up, the eyes are moving down. Now this is going to feel really, really strange. The slower you do this, the easier it'll be. This is a real big problem for our lizard brain. This is something we don't practice. And then allow the eyes to follow the head once again. And just noticing how our body reacts and interacts with this. And then gently begin to roll back onto your back. Taking a little break, relaxing, scanning through your body, noticing where we're heavy and where we're light. And go ahead and bring your knees to standing again. Feet are on the floor, knees towards the ceiling. Interlock your hands, but interlock your hands around your knees. Just bringing your knees up towards your chest and interlock your hands, but interlock them the other way. If you had the right finger on top, bring it apart, bring the left. And now lift your head with your knees hanging over your chest and your knees wide. Slowly lift your head and maybe think about gently drawing your right elbow towards your right knee. So just a little itty bitty bit of a twist, just ever so little. We're not trying to get anywhere. We're not trying to touch an elbow to a knee. We might only be lifting our head an inch. Try to relax into the pelvis. Allow the lower back to become heavy on the ground as we're lifting. And now try to bring the left elbow towards the left knee a little bit. Just enjoying this gentle movement. Just ever so gentle of a twist. Again, we're just countering all that back bending in the upper back that we were doing. Now go ahead and extend your legs long, lying easily and gently on the back. Just begin to notice if you're lying a little bit more comfortably on the floor than when we began. Take a few more moments to relax on the floor. to make our way into a comfortable seated position, wherever that happens to be. You can allow your pelvis to rock and roll a little bit like we were at the beginning, but we want to find a nice comfortable place in our body, and we want to tune into the central channel. We've done the central channel meditation in 2 previous editions of this, but we can bring the left middle finger to the crown of the head and the right middle finger to the pelvic floor and try to find that central channel, the vibrations, the sensations that connect those two. We can imagine it as a fine golden thread between the crown of the head, straight down the center of the body to the pelvic floor. This is the center of the body, the center of our subtle body, of our energy body, of our sensation body, of our body of being, and our essence nature. So we've talked about the two bindus, the khanda down here, the heart bindu here. We also have a bindu at the third eye in the center of the head. These are 3 spaces in our body, and a very, very important subtle body or energy body practice are the space practices, as visualizing ourself as space that can expand and space that can contract. So with your eyes closed, sitting comfortably, relax your jaw, relax your eyes, Divya Karna, the divine posture. Let your breath be slow and easy. You can pick up humps of breath if you like. Ha on the inhale, sa on the exhale. It's not really an M sound, it's the nasal sound. All the way up here, sa. And then begin to visualize, to feel. I'm not really concerned if you can see something imaginary, but sense the kunda, right? This point in the center of the pelvis. And sense it as space that's expanding, and feed it with the inhale. Feed that space with the inhale and allow that space to become bigger. And it's just void, it's just space, and on the exhale you can feel that contract. And then bring your awareness to the space right in the middle of the skull, right behind the brow, between the eyebrows, right in the middle of the head. So we still have our awareness on the space in the pelvis, and we're bringing new awareness to the space in the middle of the head. And feed that with the breath also. On the inhale, feel the space in the center of the head expand. And on the exhale, contracts. Same as in the center of the pelvis. And these are clear, they're translucent, just expanding, becoming bigger and smaller. It's keeping our awareness on both of these at the same time, and on the fact that they are along the central channel in the body. And just sense, just feel a felt sense of these sacred spaces, of these spaces of power in our body. And just allow those 2 spaces to contract and expand in unison. Relaxing the rest of the body. Now with the awareness on the space, on the power space in the middle of the pelvis, power space in the middle of the head, begin to bring your awareness to the space of the heart. Once again, a ball, a point that's expanding and contracting with the breath So now all three of these spaces are expanding and contracting in unison. And our full awareness is on that opening and closing. The space within. And then begin to imagine experiencing the sensations from within those spaces. Imagining feeling the pelvis from within the pelvic space. Feeling the head space within the head bindu. And feeling the heart space within the heart bindu. Imagine that we're sitting in the middle of this space and it's expanding all around us and contracting back down. And that somehow we've become three, one in each of these power spaces. And we can feel the space around us expand, and we expand with the space. As the space in each of these power centers contracts, it contracts back down around us, pulling us in, giving us hugs of warmth, expanding out, expanding into hugs of warmth and love, contracting to love, expanding to love. Keep your awareness on those three spaces. How it feels to be me, experiencing life from within these bindus, within these power centers. Allow your awareness to stay in these places. You're welcome to keep your awareness on those spaces. Keep the meditation going, or you can drop the meditation. And listen to our final chants. Our chant to consciousness. Shiva, wake up to find out that you are the eyes of the world. But the heart as it sees in its evenings and songs of its own. Discover that you are the song that the morning brings. But the heart has its seas and its evenings and songs of its own. Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya. Shiva. Shiva just means consciousness. Om Namah Shivaya. Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya. Shiva. Shiva. Wake up to find out that you are the eyes of the world. But the heart has its beaches, its home, and the thoughts of its own. Wake now, discover that you are the song that the morning brings. You still have your awareness on the three bindus. Release that awareness. Bring your hands to the heart center, keeping a little space between the palms. The space to the heart awareness.